Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ask BESS Show. Here today, every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time, Facebook Live on Bess McCarty page. And the topic today is how to work most productively from home. And I think that my tips will surprise you. Meanwhile, first of all, most important, I'd like to say you matter. I know you're going through things. We all are at this time. And I hear you. I'll respond. You're bigger than any problem that is before you. There's a solution to every problem, and it's always within reach, and you don't have to do it alone, and I'll help. I'll share with you my real conversations process to work from problem to solution in a few minutes. I would like to welcome whoever's watching the replay to put in replay so that I can thank you for watching, and I do love to hear where you're watching from. So I'm going to invite a few people while I just finish a little bit of the introductions here. I am, who am I? Let you know. Well, first of all, this show, while I'm inviting people, I want to let you know that this show is a place where you can come and join in, have some company. You can even ask questions. You can just listen in, or you could even get help with the issue, or you can contribute your own tips and thoughts too. So some people private message me on Facebook Messenger, or they'll leave a question below in the comments. And these questions can be about anything, not just careers or jobs or network marketing. I am called the shrink of MLM, but it could be about anything. For 30 years, I'm a body-mind therapist for business and life. And so that can include health, weight loss, relationships, communication, spiritual fulfillment, all of that. My background is a body-mind therapist, inner child therapist, holistic health practitioner, counselor, coach. I've trained coaches for over 30 years, even before it was called that, believe it or not, in helping people to have a better life, to change fears, negative beliefs, and live a better life. So this is what I do. I evolved something called Real Conversations, self-help process that I love to share, and I will share that in a little bit with you all, based on 25 years of my experience of working with myself and students and clients. I'm also a minister, mother, grandmother, author, speaker, teacher. Love to teach, love to share. More love to just be with you and celebrate who you are and your own inner wisdom too, and help to bring that out. So if you know someone who could be benefiting from this, I'd love if you tag and share. Some people share into Facebook groups that could be watching live with us at the same time. So I certainly welcome and thank you for doing that, because I do want to reach as many people as I can. Okay, and Shamala, front row there, welcome. How are you? And welcome, Vicky. Glad to see everybody. Okay, so follow the people who are on here, because it's the coolest people that come on here. And first thing I want to say is, during this pandemic, I thought I was an antisocial person, a loner, and all that stuff. And I'm realizing, without people and without being able to hug and see people as much as I do and from a distance and everything, now I'm realizing what I was getting from it, which I didn't realize before. So now I'm going to be super, super grateful. And more than ever, I love my dear friends, neighbors, and family. And yesterday I was taking a walk, and one of my dear neighbors came up to me, and she said, "Bess, I've been meaning to give you this necklace." My dear lady neighbor, Crystal, here in Victoria, Kansas. That's where I am. Little town like Mayberry, RFD. There's 1,000 people here in this town, believe it or not. We have 2 cops in town, and the best people. So Crystal comes walking up when I'm walking my neighbor's dog, and she said, "I wanted to give you this necklace," and this is it. It has a bee and a rose on it. And she said, "This was my mother's. Her name was Bernice." And I said, "Don't you want to keep this?" And she said, "No, I really wanted to give it to a friend whose name also began with B." And I just love it because of the heart that she gave it to me with, and it's a little pretty gold bee with a little pink rose above it. And I just love it. So I wanted to share that with you today. This happened to me yesterday. And that's big for me. And it's a change from what I used to be before. Growing up, I thought, oh, I don't need people. There, I can be a loner and I can be good. But nope, nope. So thank you, Crystal, publicly. And so today the topic is how to increase productivity at home, and I think you'll be surprised by the answer. I'll say it. Well, first. Talk about, at this time, I've always kind of, in my past, I've kind of always defined myself by how much I do. How much I can get done in a day, how much I feel good about myself if I've been productive, if I've gotten a whole lot done, okay, then I feel like I had a good day. And I know since then that we are human beings, not human doings, but still that is with me. So during this pandemic, when I felt kind of heavy, I have not felt real productive before. I do more now, but there was a time, a month or two there, when I felt actually kind of must have been depressed. So now I have more compassion for people who feel depression and how heavy that can feel. It felt like the things that I should do just to keep everything going and working in everyday chores felt extra heavy. They felt twice as much work to do. And then I remembered a story that I heard about Brother Lawrence. Do you know about him? He was a monk in this monastery, and they gave him the lowliest jobs of peeling potatoes for tons and tons of people. So that's what he did for like hours a day, is peel these potatoes. And he could have gotten down on that, but what he did is he found this secret. And what he did is he began practicing the presence of God as he peeled the potatoes. In other words, he felt God's love. So whenever it was his time to peel potatoes, that was his time to have time with God and to kind of surround himself. I'm going to guess how he did it, but this is how I do it sometimes. Surround myself, fill myself with God's love, or surround myself, imagine God loving me or enveloping me with love, or that I'm in a womb of love or a circle of love, something like that. Well, he achieved his, spiritual enlightenment through peeling potatoes, through that technique. So I began practicing that. And I have a friend who heard about that technique. And she always hated washing dishes, but she knew they needed to be done, but she just disliked that job so much. That was like the worst thing in her whole life, was washing dishes. So she heard about this technique. So she started practicing it when she was washing dishes. So every time she would do that, she would do it with so much love. And she enjoyed that state that she was in. That when the dishes were done, she began looking around the house. Is there anything else? Did anybody leave a cup somewhere? Is there some more dishes I can wash? And she began seeking them out. So what she did is she turned her worst job, her worst task that she wanted to avoid, into something that now she was seeking or hoping there was more of it to do. And so I have turned that to myself too. And another breakthrough came for me when my little dog Charlie, you guys might have seen on the videos, little beige Chihuahua Terrier, who I used to bring on the videos sometimes. When he passed away over a year ago, I felt, because he was so much a part of me for 15 years and my constant companion and my best friend, I felt like a part of me was gone. And it felt like, well then, who do I give love to? Life feels purposeless. Similar to when my son left home at age 11 to live with his dad because he needed to be around a dad. And I was heartbroken how it happened. He really needed to push me away. And at that time, I didn't understand that guys need their dads, right? And so they need to leave mom and go to dad's. And but my heart was hurting. And I realized, okay, all the love that I gave to him every day in my house, I can now give to my clients and students. So similar with Charlie, I realized that what I was missing most was the love that I took care of him with. And that could still be with me. I could take care of myself that way and others. That love could still be there. I sort of defined myself or found my identity or my self-worth or my purpose in how well I loved him and took care of him. He was on a raw foods diet. We played every day. We exercised. We walked. And he got lots of love. And he gave me so much love. But I realized that I could still be in the presence of that same love. I could turn that to the tasks that I did every day. The washing, or the making the house look nice. Even during this pandemic, I'm straightening up the cushions for who? For me. Because it feels good to have the house look nice for me. Not because somebody's coming over this time, but for me. And I could put love in it. And I could take care of me and my own inner child the same as I took care of Charlie. So these things have helped me to put love in it. I still believe in delegating what I don't, in my business or work, delegating what I don't love to do. And if we can afford it, outsource it. When some people have cooks or house cleaners, or I usually have somebody to prepare and juice my food, my raw food diet that I'm on. Right now I'm doing all that myself, but I'm doing it with love and joy instead of, let me just get through this thing, practicing the presence of God like Brother Lawrence. And so I want to say hello to Jimmy and hello to Adam popping on here. Now, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, tips, comments. Can you relate? Do you have a question? Do you have a tip for everybody else that we can share? Either I can read it, or either I can read it aloud, or they can read it later on. So I want this to be a two-way. If you're here, I'd love if you say hello. And if you know someone who could use it, I'd love if you tag, share, comment. And I do appreciate the little likes and loves that come across too. So, okay, here's the tip of how to increase productivity at home. That was just a warm-up, okay? But the real tip I wanted to give you to surprise you today, I think will be a surprise. And here it is, to increase productivity at home and get more done and be more creative and be more efficient and make it count even more. Here it is. Take a nap. So research has shown that when people get plenty of sleep and or take a nap to recharge during the day, they recharge their batteries and they recharge their creativity. That recharging is actually the best tip. And this is exact opposite to what the Industrial Revolution has really taught us, hasn't it? Since then, productivity has equaled success, and it's equaled our self-worth and our identity and how we think about ourselves. And so we think that struggle and hustle defines our self-worth. And while hustle can be good, and if done in a good way, I have burned myself out several times in my life, like burned my adrenals out, not gotten enough sleep for a year, all in thinking, okay, I'm being good. I'm being productive. I'm being a successful person, must do this, must sacrifice these things sometimes. And now I don't think so, because I read the study that said that successful people get 8 or more hours of sleep a night. They do not burn the candle at both ends. They do not compromise. And I know one very multimillionaire chiropractor and network marketer, Dr. Bob Burkowski, says that you should take 10 hours to ensure that you get your 8 hours of sleep. And to me, that means gearing down at night and winding down, into some non-stimulating reading material or something like that, or something to prepare me for my dreams. And then waking up slowly. I like to take time in the morning, not just pop up and run, which I used to. But now I like to lay there and say, where was I just now? Where was I in my dreams? And see if I can lay there in that twilight zone and recall them. And I write them down in my dream journal, because they give me clues to insights, guidance, things I didn't realize, perhaps some insights into my life that can come through better when I'm sleeping than when I'm awake, because the sensor isn't there, the mental sensor isn't there. So often our dreams speak to us in symbols about things that can better our lives. Or we have really cool experience on other levels of existence. And I really do believe that these are true. They are real experiences that I wake up with and I feel just like I had that experience. In other words, they changed me the same as if I would have had that experience in my waking life. I believe they're really true and real on another level. They're not just, they can't be my imagination because I'm asleep, so what are they? I think that we really do exist on multiple levels at once, and our dreams are one picture of that. And so I like to remember my dreams. I like to wake up slowly, or even doze back off, or do a spiritual exercise in that waking up hour. So getting plenty of sleep increases productivity. And there's burnout in general, but then there's also pandemic burnout. So this is really crucial at this time, because a lot of people working from home not only have the intensity, the regular intensity and responsibilities of their job, but they've got to do that at the same time that they're managing kids and managing the effect of the isolation at this time. So, the effect, the stress of confinement, and what that means to them and what it means to their kids and family. So they're juggling all of this. Can you imagine taking your work day? It can be stressful and full enough, right? But you take your kids to work with you and you try to get the same amount of work done. See, so that's the pandemic burnout and stress. And if you have small children, I recommend nap with your children. Even if you say, I can't sleep during the day, just rest and have that unstructured, quiet, non-distracted time. Because research and science has shown that we need that unstructured, how did they put it? Unstructured time needs space and unstructured time. Now, some people can start by doing this by taking a nap or quiet time, whether or not you have children. If you have school-age children, you might not be able to take a nap, but you could have perhaps a lunchtime where you sit down together and have some quiet time together, undistracted, no cell phone or TV on or any stimulation like that, and just have some quiet time or by yourself. It's important, it's essential to do that in business. I have a business mentor who always said, do not skip your spiritual time in the morning. That's when she's gotten her most innovative and productive and lucrative business ideas. And this has happened to me as well. Sometimes, in those early morning twilight hours, or sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll grab a pen and write stuff down, ideas that come to me. Then I can often go back to sleep when I get them out of my head. But if we do not get enough sleep, if we do not take our spiritual time, we feel stressed. We can't be productive or creative or innovative at that time, can we? When we're stressed and exhausted and sleep deprived. Did you know that half the people out there driving, when we had a lot of people driving, when we do again, realize that half the people out there are sleep deprived. Half of them haven't gotten enough sleep the night before. And science has equated that to driving drunk. So drive defensively and try to get enough sleep, at least so you can be safe for other people on the road too. And there's a saying, when you work hard, it's okay to work hard, right? But then recover hard too. And I remember a time when I did this. I was working really round the clock as a fashion designer for a photography company. We had deadlines. And after a couple months of working like this, I felt burned out. So what I did is I went to this lake in Colorado and floated on the lake the whole weekend. I did nothing but float in the big old inner tube and just let the waves rock me and rock me and rock me, because I needed that. My mind and my body needed to be rocked, needed that quietness and needed the comfort and nourishment of the gentle waves in this Colorado lake. So I remember that really clearly. I remember another time I was really burned out. All I want to do is lay in bed for 2 days and do nothing. Just that nothingness. Just soak up nothingness. Soak up healing or just nothingness. It's real important. Allow that. Don't think, oh, that's wasted time or something like that. So welcome, Micah. Always good to see you. And Shamala says, hope you're taking care. Oh, yes, taking care and keeping safe. Very safe and very well. Thank you. Better every day, as a matter of fact. Using this time to learn things I think I couldn't have learned any other way, like the ones I mentioned. And welcome, Heather. Good to see you. And I'm going to respond to your message. that I found. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So, a lot of people are right now filling their lives up with Zooms, with kids, with exercise and everything. And I want to encourage us as we go through this, when we feel our life is so busy or so full, take a moment to take a breath and listen to your body and say, what do I need right now? Do I need to go to the bathroom? Do I need to go for a walk and, move my body, sitting at this computer too long? Do I need some water? Do I need some food? Do I need to take a nap? So listen to your body, be aware of the signs, give yourself the love and attention that you would a little child when you check and say, hi, how are you doing? Do you need anything right now? If it's a baby, do you need a diaper change? Do you need something to eat or drink? Do you need a nap? And we can do that for ourselves. Listen to our body. I have had a tendency in the past to ignore my body's signals, to keep going on a project, keep focusing, sacrifice everything else, and keep going ahead. Put the blinders on and just focus on the goal. And then I realized, whoa, I'm sleep deprived, or I haven't drank any water for 4 hours, or gosh, I haven't eaten today. Not good. I'm training myself to check in with my body in between little tasks or in between little segments of tasks, and to care enough about myself to listen to my body. What do I need right now? Hey, I could keep going, but I'll be working at half productivity unless I take a nap. Then I'll be working at full productivity. Or if I could save this task for tomorrow rather than stay up one more half hour and get this task done at, half asleep, takes me twice as long than if I just went to bed and I put that first in the morning and did it first in the morning. Okay, so much better. Why try to keep squeezing more out of myself? Why not follow my body's signals and go to sleep when I'm tired? Because for a year, I'll tell you, I ignored it, and then I couldn't find my body's signals anymore. I overrode them so much that they kind of left, and I suffered some health consequences. So now when I feel the tiredness, I think, oh good, there's the tiredness. Let me go with it. Let me surf with it. Let me flow with that, and let me take a rest. So do you guys agree with this? Do you relate to that? Has anybody done that? I'd love to hear your comments, tips, because there's so much more wisdom out there from you guys to share, and makes sense. That's what I found. I know a friend who always, she was a receptionist in a chiropractor's office, and she got so used to ignoring her body's needs that she wouldn't go to the restroom when she needed to. She just kept working through it, and she got a bladder infection as a result. So she learned, okay, better listen to my body. That's the easiest, best way, and saves time in the long run than to ignore it and take care of the health problems later. Thank you guys for the likes and loves. I really appreciate it. That is all for today. On Tuesday, every Tuesday, I am giving a gift to people at the time of this pandemic. I've opened up my Tuesday night class, which used to be a paid one, coaching class to everybody. It's called Real Conversations. I've opened this up for people to come on to be heard, because like it or not, we're all going through changes at this time, and some people are worried, overwhelmed, not sure about the future of society, the economic future, how to deal with communication problems at home right now. They said every problem is a communication problem. How to understand the personalities of their kids, spouse, and things might be coming up. I've been talking to people who go, yeah, it's been a lot of family togetherness, So I invite these people to come onto my coaching class every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called Real Conversations. And you can come on and get coached. You can just listen in if you want. You can be anonymous if you want. You can use a made-up name if you want to. But you can come on, have company, listen to others, be heard yourself, or even get help from me or other people in the group. So you're very welcome to do that. It's just a number you can call into, and I'll put that below in a few minutes. You're welcome to. I call it Real Conversations. And the heart of that, I teach also on that call, the self-help method that I mentioned called Real Conversations. And here's in a nutshell what it is. Oh, thank you for the likes and loves, Mike. I could see you in there. Thank you so much. And she said, it's awesome. Oh, you're an amazing communicator. Thank you. Micah has been on the class, and so have a number of the people on this call. Thank you, Micah. Do you mind saying what you personally got out of that class so far? How have you benefited? That, whatever that you feel comfortable sharing, so that other people might understand the benefit of that class, and maybe they can come on too and have the benefit too. So, real conversations in a nutshell is knowing your need. Every problem is a sign of an unmet need. So you find the need that's missing there, what's missing, and you meet that, and the problem goes away. The addiction, the compulsion, the avoidance, the procrastination, whatever is holding you back, whatever is causing a problem in your life, find the need there, meet it, and it goes away. That applies for every single problem you can imagine, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And I do have some free tools that you can, I've made available for you to do this self-help on your own, which is an audio, a chart, and 5 e-lessons that you can journal with to help yourself to learn this method to solve any problem that is before you. And you can get that at bessmccarty.com/real. bessmccarty.com/real for real conversations. This is a $250 info product that I'm making available for free for people. So you are welcome to have it and use it and to come on to the Tuesday night class. And what one person said on that class is, I love this work. It has freed me from old limiting beliefs and fears so I can live all my joy and give the gift of me to the world, because no one else can do that. So that's what this is about. That's what I'm about. I'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, noon Eastern time again, every Saturday and Sunday, noon Eastern time for the BESS Show. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about love, delving more into how that keeps us happy and healthy, and what we can do to bring more love into our life. That's the only thing really life is worth, right? So come on back to chat more about love. And Micah says, yes, I understand that being frustrated is okay, but need to speak about those frustrations because we're people. Yeah, we need best so that we actually work with a clear head when we're not frustrated. That's just something I've learned so far. Thank you. I think you're sharing why to be on the class, or maybe what you learned from the class, right? We're people. We can support each other. Let's do this. Let's join in together, that my way or another way. But let's love ourselves, meet our needs, listen to ourselves again. And tomorrow I have some more cool things to share with you. Thank you. See you then. Look below for the call-in number for Tuesday and for the free self-help gifts. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.